So, who is LaShuan Michelle? LaShuan is a mother of three. She is a nurse. She is a attorney. She is an executive in the healthcare field. She is a fitness enthusiast that has done dozens of half marathons and a ton of 5Ks. And her new fitness fave is an annual 31-mile hike. And she has completed 3 so far and is scheduled to do her 4th one later this month. And most importantly, she is a brand new sewist. Yes. So why did I, LaShuan Michelle, get into sewing? I will tell you that I have always loved sewing. I was introduced to sewing by my aunt when I was very young. If I could remember and my memory is accurate, I would say I was maybe 8, 9, 10, maybe 11. But my aunt is what I would call an expert sewist, and she has made everything from formal dresses to everyday clothes. And I would see her sewing room filled with sewing projects in varying stages. And I just thought, wow, that's amazing that what I see in the store every day, she is doing in her home every day. And so I actually bought my first sewing machine over 10 years ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I know that it was definitely over 10 years ago. And it was a Singer commercial grade 550C, and it stitched over 1,100 stitches per minute, which I had no idea what that meant, but I knew that it was a lot based on the salesperson. And it did buttonholes, and it had a thread cutter, and it was great. At least that's what I believed when I brought it. But honestly, I would never know based on my own personal experiences because I actually never used it. In fact, I gave it to my oldest daughter, who has been putting it to great use over the years. So I was inspired by my aunt. I was inspired by my daughter, but I was also inspired by seeing people like one of my fitness friends that I met through Instagram, Jess Brooks, who I watched buy her first sewing machine and share her sewing journey and her love to sew, from buying her first sewing machine to developing her first collection, Stitched by Jay, which seems like ages ago at this point, to launching her own clothing line and store, J. Brooks Boutique, to seeing my good friend Carmen, the founder of Black Sewing Network, inspire a whole generation of Black sewists with her creative mind and the way that she transforms what I would call the have-not patterns and looks to the totally hot patterns and looks, and really just getting everyone on board saying, oh, I definitely want to do that. And the way that she educates others on how to level up in their sewing, but also in their entrepreneurial spirit and their business. And so that has really inspired me to say, you know what, I want to sew too. So I did just that. I went out and bought my own sewing machine. So why do I love sewing? I love it much more than I ever thought that I would. My motivation for sewing is just wanting to look how I feel and knowing that I have the ability to take control over how I look. My body shape and my body type is what I would call kind of non-traditional, and clothes just really never fit me the way that I liked. And sewing has allowed me to create clothes to fit my body type in a way that is flattering to me. And honestly, I'm addicted. My motto is you should never, ever have to wear anything that you don't like, especially if you sew. So what do I plan to bring to the sewing table? Well, first, I remember what it was like when I started sewing and the things that helped me. So I will bring and I will be sharing my experiences, sewing patterns, the skills that you need, the level of difficulty, the time that it takes, and is it beginner friendly, which is something that I always wanted to know. I will be connecting with other experienced sewists to learn and share about sewing machines, notions, upcycling, projector sewing, and a variety of other sewing related topics. My goal is really to educate the new sewist and inspire the experienced sewist.